My name is Lecturer Klaji, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, speaking in Nairobi National Government, Embakasi East Constituency, Embakasi Ward Village, called Miango. This afternoon, I would like to talk the Word of God in this time now, and our topic is about walking in the light, and we are going to read the First John, chapter 1, verse 5. And it reads like this: walking in the light. This is the message we have heard from him and declare to you: God is light. In him there is no darkness at all. All right. If we read randomly 5 and 6 verses, we claim to have fellowship with him, yet we walk in darkness. We lie and do not live by the truth. That's what the Word of God speaks here. We read this book. We read this book because it is talking about the love of God. And this book was written by Apostle John, who also wrote the Gospel of John, First John as well, and First and Second and Third John. And he wrote probably when AD, when he was about 80 years old, in his John life. And what's happening that time, many communities were springing up throughout the Roman Empire and loose structure of authority and organization of being organized properly. So there was also a great persecution, and Emperor Nero of Rome has gone actually claiming the lives of thousands of Christians, including Paul and Peter. John is thought to have written as the last surviving apostle that time, looking back at his gains and setbacks of the early church of that time. So, walking in light, in what sense is God light in that case? In 1 John verse 5, light suggests the idea that God is open and honest, not like human beings, and also that he reveals truth. Light also represents goodness and purity. In an immoral sense, there are no shadows or dark sides to God. He is perfect and free of sin. God is sinless in that case. So I said I'm lecturer Klaji Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome. I've taught paramilitary general service unit to Nairobi Utawala College, an equivalent force to Kenya Army in the spiritual affairs and physical, affairs. As a civilian spiritual affairs instructor, 2004 to 2016, under the umbrella of AIC, as a free kind of volunteer. I've been working like a slave in AIC for so many years, until now my age is also ending, somehow working effectively in them, but I'm also a spiritual affairs, political preacher, and also aspiring to a president come August 9, 2027 elections, being assisted by then, which is hopefully I'm going to marry the Supreme People's Power President, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga youngest daughter, is the Privileged Assembly Member of Parliament, Honorable Imgad Winnie Raila Amolo Odinga. Will be my wife very soon. The family has no objections. Although I'm a bit worried about Samburu, tribe. Say we are all like Maasais, like, yes, we are. But we are also good people. We only fight those who are fighting us. Because in Nehemiah 4:9, the word of God speaks that we need to pray and post a guard to protect ourselves and our families, including Honorable Winnie Imgat Raila Amolo Odinga, which will be my wife very soon. We want to protect her spiritually, socially, and physically, and also entire family, because we want to have sons and daughters, like what also God gave, King Joab of Judah, Israel, when he was recommended to marry two wives by the recognized priest of Israel, Judah, Joahida, to marry two wives. So the Bible accepts two wives to be married in 2 Chronicles chapter 24 verse 1 to 3. as well as Lamech also married, and others also in Genesis 4:19, and others, Jacob, Esau, Abraham, and many others. And also God allowed also monogamy, one wife to one man, in 1 Timothy 3, chapter 1 and the following, and also chapter 3, verse 1 and the following, and also Titus 1:6. So what God does not like is polyandry, a kind of behavior whereby one woman to be married by so many men. Men are like dogs. They can fight like dogs if they are to marry one woman, many of them. That's what happened when, Abraham gave king of Egypt his wife, Sarah, to marry bravely because of fear, and also king of Gerar, likewise, Abimelech. And the experience actually got wrought until they returned the woman to Abraham. So what God does not like is actually polyandry, a kind of a woman married to many men in that case. That's what God does not want. It's called polyandry, polyandrous behavior. But polygamy is acceptable in God's sight. I'm also from the second wife of Mr. Lakuda, who had 3 wives. I'm from the second wife, and I'm a priest. And God has also appointed me like Jeremiah before I was born in Jeremiah 1:5. So God does not hate me, neither my mom, who is the only one alive now among 3 women, or Mr. Lakuda, a prophet of Africa, Samburu tribe, the late Mr. Lakuda Kesike Loltome. So what I want to say, I said yesterday, and I keep on repeating, we need to walk in light, but when people don't walk in light, then it will be actually amount to sin, which of course God does not like it. Particularly if you read 1 John also, chapter 4:1, we need to test every spirit. Alright? Testing the spirit. We need to test the spirit because there are many evil spirits and also fake priests of Kenya nowadays, like the one I mentioned yesterday, which has actually allowed the church to be a kind of a graveyard in Marsabit County recently when I visited there, December 23rd to January 23rd this year. Kind of a Rendile priest called untrained one was claiming to be a university graduate from, Situate African Land Church, which is not there. There's no university there at Situate of African Land Church, neither recognized at all. So the guy is called Daniel Siole. He's a very terrible man. He has actually allowed the church to be a graveyard of university students, 4 of them, and also my choir members when I was there, 2000, before I went to teach in Narrow Bible College. He has also allowed them, the students, all 80 of them, to be in a one mass grave, which is not good. I was African Land Church priest, employed priest without money. Alright, here it is, by Africa Inland Church, District Church Council Marsabit, 2000, and they have not paid me money up to now, 24 years, from 2000 to 2024 now. They are actually, I'm claiming now 23 million shillings, in value of which I will take over that station and many others, 17 of them. Saku Constituency, African Land Church, Songa location, Moyale, Diribukombo, call them Gatab, Loyankalani, Moyale, Zonga, and also Kituruni, Karare, Logo Station, including airstrip, and also Mount Kulal Gatab, including airstrip, Loyankalani, South Hor, Kor Kargi, not Kargi, but like Samis and Gurnet, among others, South Hor, and also Marsabit Station, and guest house as well. I was paid by America. Alright, here it is. Alright, you can see it here. I was paid by America Chalke International, Washington DC, Chalke International. I was paid Kenya shillings, not Kenya shilling, but dollars, $225 since 2001. But even prior to that, I was paid by them 1990s. when they have been there at our place. The person who was there was sponsoring us. It's called Dr. Max Lang, the founder of Childcare International, which was originally called Siloam International. He's here. If you want to see him, this is a photo he has taken at, Nakuru State Park Lodge 2001, together with wife, Madam Alice Lang. They are actually sponsoring so many Kenyans places. Ravin in Baringo, Nairobi here, Kibera, alright, Mutulu Kitoi, Machakos, Ravin Marigat, Marsabit, alright, all of Marsabit, including Kambwe. You can see the kids here, alright, they have been sponsoring in Kambwe, Marsabit, like service consuls, they are here, alright, they are here, alright, that is 1990s, okay, 1990s, 1995 thereabout. I'm also here checking one of the kids in Kambwe, alright. I was actually evangelist there and also representing the project Childcare International, which was called Siloam 1995 and 1990s. So I am here together with Madam Malis. Alright, here when I was teaching Narok Bible College, he visited me together with his husband. When I was a teacher at the Narok Bible College, I was teaching African and church pastors free of charge as well, because AIC used to use us, particularly Samburu Maasai's lecturers, like slaves. We are not paid by them, alright, and we are removed from even working anyhowly. When even our children are in schools, you can see it here, alright. I was released from volunteer teaching by the board members, and the board chairman was called Reverend Peter Nakola. He's no longer there now. He was a very rough priest, like retired Bishop Iago of AIC. They are very rough priests. We call them actually the living dead human beings. God has just put them there for us to pray, because they have been not good leaders at all. I was also sent to be AIC Nairobi South Region Education Department, Nairobi, representing them here free of charge. I'm also teaching paramilitary general service unit here at Utawala College for 12 years. That is actually 2004 to 2016. Free of charge, volunteer. And I was also, one of them recommended one of my son, Dr. Eli, when he was given scholarship to go and study at Harvard University, okay, America. Alright, you can check it here. He's stating that I was given subsistence allowance of 116,400,000, which is about 7,500, and not always. Alright, when I visit, those areas, like when I was a teacher at the same time, also part-time teacher in Narok Bible College, beside Bible College, Narok County Government of African Church, teaching paramilitary at the same time with Utawala College General Service Unit as a spiritual affairs instructor. Alright, because I know about theologies, I have a degree in Islamic studies and also Christianity discipline, systematic theology. So what we want to say here, I'm going to after now I went to Marsabit recently. I'm going to replace all stations of African Church. Alright, I've also they have permitted me to do that. I've talked to their headquarters here in Nairobi. Here it is actually the lenses I was given by Kenya government 2016 during President His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta reign. He gave me permission when I was teaching also paramilitary general service unit. They gave me a government of state kind of a ordination, also ordained by one of the priests from South Africa, Bishop Mandela, at one of the churches. When I was also actually teaching paramilitary general service unit here at Utawala College and Nairobi National Government. So what I want to say, I want to replace AIC, particularly in Upper Eastern, all 17 stations, to be called Interdenominational Church International online, no longer online, but we are going to establish those churches again and restore the sanity after being in ruins now, and all the priests are chairs, particular trained priests, particular Americans, Britons, and also from other countries like Germans. The chairs in those stations like Loyankalani Station, Marsabit Station, and also Gatap and many others. All right, by priests which are not non-locals there, particularly they are using fake priests like now the one I mentioned. It's called actually Siole, Pastor Siole, who is not a priest. It's like Shakahola is actually hipping kids who are dead in the church at the African church Songa Sako Consulate, and I've accused him to the anti-terror group of Kenya Wildlife Service, particularly Mohammed Gababo, who is actually in charge of that terror group. Is called Mohammed Gababo to take care of that man, together with another headmaster, which are very notorious men. He has left teaching. He's headmaster of Songa Sako Consulate, Songa Primary School. He's called Francis Canabal, together with that fake priest called Daniel Siole. They are now actually misusing the church, refusing people to pray, and also, heaping dead people of, choir members who have been slain by, terror group, human beings, in collaboration with them, obvious, and other priests also who are fake, on 15 May 2005. And they're still continuing. They are discovered by this Mohammed Gababo with 07 number, mobile number 0716 57 62 23. ID number is 3100774. And Daniel Sole number, which is a very terrible priest, is a Rendile fake priest, which is not trained. It's like Shakahola, Clivic kind of a massacre man, which is called Thenge of a Kambas tribe, was slain so many human beings. Likewise, also Daniel Sole is likewise a Rendile priest from Songa AIC African Church. He's doing the same. He is a very rich man, and the church is actually giving him about per offering about 500 shillings. But he's using those kind of schemes, devilish kind of schemes, to get a lot of money. And so he's called Pastor Daniel Siole, who is say that is a trainee from African Church situated Kericho University, which is not there at all. So his number is 07 27 84 80 52. And together in collaboration with the headmaster of Songa Primary School, Mr. Francis Canabal. They are both Rendiles and they are very terrible. I reported this matter to, I said to Mohammed Gababo, 0716 5762 23, and SSP, Officer Commanding Police Division of Marsabit, Mr. Edward Ndrangu, 07 number 20 57 3130. I said 0720 573130. And also I reported to the District Commissioner of Marsabit, a Maasai wonderful man, a godly man, like also Edwin Drango Ospidi of Marsabit. Alright, it's called Mr. Saruni. His number is 0720 397038. Another alternative number is 0792 875885. And so I reported the matter also to Songa Assistant Chief Luca Loltome. His number is 07 17 46 93 63. And Abdi Dera, also Chief of Songa location, is a Asakuye crossbred of Gabra. Is also 07 number 21179363. So what do I want to say? I just want to tell our President, His Excellency, alright, His Excellency Dr. William Samarito is also an African church that I am now going to take all 17 stations of African church in Upper Eastern Marsabit, and they owe me also 3 million shillings. I want him to tell them to pay me promptly and immediately. And also, I'm going to also to take Nairobi National Government, if the all what I've stated, those work I've done like a slave all over, including training, pastors as instructor of paramilitary service unit here in Nairobi with all college, Nairobi National Government, an equivalent force to Kenya Army for 12 years. I need also some money from them. I need also money from actually, I said it actually, what do I want to say? From actually Nairobi South Region Christian Education Department, which I was representing as a Christian Education Chairman and Coordinator. Alright, for many years, starting from 27 January 2007 up to now. They have not paid money. Alright, so that is actually what I want actually the president to know. He's a godly man. His Excellency Dr. William Samarito is also an African church born person and baptized by them, like me also, in December 25th, 1975, when I was baptized by an British American Dr. Al John Anderson at the Logo African Church or Mission Station. In that case, it used to be called Africa Inland Mission that time. Alright, when I was in class 5 in 1975. Alright, so I need actually the president to help me to tell them to pay me money, including Nairobi here. Otherwise, I'm going to take even Nairobi as a International online, which is no longer now online, but it will be an efficiently effective in having those African churches replaced by Interdenominational Church International. Alright, here it is. I thank also the retired president, His Excellency Dr. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He has given me an okay as a statement Priest of Kenya Republic 2016. Alright, I want also AIC to honor what we call AIC Constitution. They are not honoring AIC Constitution at all, particularly this Archbishop now of AIC, which is just a pipeline AIC just a few years ago. I was coaching him. It's called Abraham Mulwa. I was coaching him as a pipeline elder in theological education by extension, being a teacher myself part-time. And he ended up being an archbishop. He doesn't honor, alright, Africa Inland Church, Katiba, or we call it Constitution, which was founded by Peter Scott in 1895. They are not actually having any kind of nowadays elections after 5 years. They are just there forever, which is not good. All right, which is not good. So they're supposed to know that there's a local church council which they're supposed to follow that kind of church hierarchy, whereby there's a church chairman, vice chairman, secretary, vice secretary, and treasurer, and branch church council also. They have to honor that kind of a constitution, and also district church council with those kind of officials and other 9 also or other 9 committees, and district church Christian education workers also, and also district church council. They need to know this, and regional church council. Those executive people, they are supposed to honor this kind of human beings, and also the central church council in that case, after that kind of church government, which they are not following at all. They are supposed also to to ordain trained pastors, 4 years diplomas, and also degree and diplomas, kind of pastors, not fake ones like the one I've mentioned now. People who have never been to any Bible theological college. They are being seated by one of the priests from West Kingshaw called Javet Biwat, which we have been contemporary at Capital Bible College together, 1996 to 2000. He's now shooting this untrained priest in Marsabit to sell plot and to chase missionaries, white missionaries, and also trained pastors. Marsabit, Rendila, and Samboros are the most trained pastors in Marsabit, but they don't train pastors. They are chasing them. We have so many of them. Reverend Matthew Sasawa, Reverend Paul Galmagan, Reverend James Timado, Reverend Raval Tani, Reverend Sami Moga, my in-law, and many others. Reverend Ahmed Doti is now in America together with his family. From Dabel is a Sakuye priest. And also Silango, Reverend David Silango, is now in America. Driving, these trailers, vehicles. On many others, they are fled with, their families because of persecution. We have now Javed Biot, which is now, it was a Kapsa Baba College, recently, principal, is now in Marsabit. But he has left now because we have warned him that he is not supposed to go and sell our stations using fake press. Like Siole, Daniel Siole was not trained press. And also to hit dead people in the, in the stations. And to chase white men and black trained pastors. All right, we have so many of them trained, but they are not working. Because the AIC is not providing us with the service and condition of service, salaries. They are not. We are working like slaves, particularly Samburu, Press and Rendiles, Boran Rendiles, and many others, and Sakuyes. All right, they are terrible. African church is becoming, inhumane, and is practicing what they call atrocities against humanity. Not even other denominations which are killing human beings. They are the ones. So what we want to say, we don't such kind of jealous priest like Jonah in the Bible in chapter 1, whereby he had the Assyrian Ninevites and he considered them as the terrorists, international terrorists, while himself is also a terrorist. He was hiding in a ship heading to Tarshish, rather than going to Nineveh, which was commanded by God. Because he had those human beings, Arabs, Assyrians, not to get saved. And he became so angry when those human beings now, after being swallowed, and he went and talked to them, and they repented. He became also so angry that God has had mercy on them. So even in Kenya, if you are a priest of a certain kind of a tribe, the whole church is likewise. If you go to PCA, you will see all Kikuyus. If you go to SDA, you will see all in Nairobi here. You will see all, Kizis. If you go to churches of, other tribes, like Luos, you will see all Luos there. It's not good. That's how, Rwanda ended up in problem in 1990s. Hutus and, Tutsi. They ended up being slaughtering each other because of that kind of hatred among priests and also other society, civilians, ethnicity kind of tribes. So what I want to say here, I want even Professor, His Excellency, Honorable Kindege, Professor Kindege, to know that I'm going to replace African Union churches, particularly in Upper Eastern Marsabit County, Federal State, or county government, independent churches of Interdenominational is going to be called African Union churches later on, very soon. And I have a permit here, which the government has given me, and I'm going to, to execute, my duties using this umbrella of International to replace African churches all over Kenya, particularly Upper Eastern Marsabit County, Federal State, or county government, which is one of the second biggest after Turkana county government. In the eastern side, we are bordering Wajir, Somali control states, and on the northern part, we are also bordering Ethiopia, and also in the side of southern part, we are bordering Samburu County. I'm a Samburu Maasai priest. Although I'm a crossbred, many people believe that anyway, I'm not very far from even Israel, kind of Batik heritage, kind of alive. I'm just like Moses in a way. In Exodus chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. Alright, my mom is a Samburu from Samburu County, South Horror. Lemosa daughter, alright, a very prominent family of Samburus. And her uncle was actually Mr. Chief Lemoko Tile of Samburu Latakwen area. So my grandmom is also a Samburu, but my birth was in question simply because many people thought that I'm not born by Samburus in that case. Some believe that I'm from somehow an Israel kind of a bad heritage from that lady, and among other, people also like Rendiles and so forth. So I don't know exactly my real father except God. Alright, so may God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. I said I'm lecturer clergy Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome. I was trained in Kapsawa College for 4 years, and also University of Vision International University, Ramona, California, an affiliate campus here in Kenya, Limuru, and I graduated 2004, and I graduated from also Kapsabet 2000, and I also completed Islamic Studies at the Columbia International University, distance learners. I've also completed studies at degree level, Islamic Studies. So may God bless you, human being in Kenya, and remember to pray for me. I'm looking forward to be also Kenya president come August 9, 2027, together with my wife, First Lady. All right, Honorable Raila, Honorable Imgad Winnie Raila Amolo Odinga, the Supreme People's Power President, daughter, a very learned girl, so learned. He has masters in political science. And we are going to unseat the current president, His Excellency Dr. William Samarata, come 2027 elections. By 8 a.m., he will not be there. The president will go. We are going to unseat him, obviously, no doubt. All right, under the umbrella of, Tumai Liberation Movement, which is a part of ODM, or coalition, as we speak now. So that's how I am going to be, God willing, and also my vice president will be retired brigadier of Kenya Army, His Excellency Honorable Nick Guguba.